after so long. For those of you commenting on my eyes, it's the filter. It's not me. I haven't changed the color of my eyes or anything else. I'm in Dubai right now, flying back from South Africa. So I thought, why not do the Dubai look? Here in Dubai, they really do extensive makeup, and I just get so inspired seeing all of them. So I said, okay, let me try the fox eyes. So I love doing the fox eyes. Oh, someone is saying ghost eyes not looking so nice. Okay, no problem. Not everyone to like. I agree with you. I find them a little extra and a little artificial, but let's see if we can, how do we, if I want to, let's try some other. Do you prefer something else? Is this better? Do you like this more? We can do any filter. There are so many options. My God, oof. Aajkal to, oof. Oh, where did I go off? Oops. Okay, let's try this one. This is nice and fresh. You prefer this one? Yeah. We can have so much fun. Don't worry too much about it. Oh, please do any filter you please. Don't listen to others. No, I don't want to listen to everyone. Don't worry, darling. I'm just having fun. After so long, no, I'm seeing all of you. Ow. Okay, let's get started. Let's see who all are here. I'm sorry firstly for the huge gap that got put. It was only because we did a money manifestation special session for all of you. I hope you were there. If you were there, tell me in the chat box how was your experience of the money manifestation session. And right after that, I left for South Africa. So in South Africa, the day I was supposed to do it, the internet, so there's something called load shedding in Africa, where the internet keeps going in and out, and it's almost impossible to take a chance because the internet keeps going in and out because of the electricity. So I didn't want to take a chance, and I didn't want to keep on logging back. Sometimes that gets very annoying. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to skip this week. So the real reason for why I skipped this week was actually just that load shedding was a huge problem on the day that I had was supposed to do the Insta Live, right? On that note, I also missed you really badly. Trust me when I say this. One of the ways I love connecting with my tribe is through this. And once a week, it's become such a part of my life that I felt incomplete not having been there. So today I am dedicated sitting here for the whole hour answering your questions, okay? Love the colored lenses look. Okay, some of you love the eyes, some of you don't love the eyes. Doesn't matter. Wait, let's try that again. No, that's not the eyes, no? Is this the eyes one? No. This one? No. Today I'm really having fun. Okay, let's move into questions. Oh, how was South Africa? South Africa was simply fabulous for me. Wherever my children are there, that trip becomes phenomenal. And of course, if you love nature, you love animals, you love plants, you love insects, you love generally the whole feel of being close to Mother Earth, it was just simply phenomenal, something that I recommend to all of you. I'm not able to find that filter that I really like. Oh my God, how are you carrying these earrings? Oh, they are very light. They're very, very light. Not heavy at all. Something I just picked up from Africa. Can you tell? Are they looking African? I don't know. Missed you too, yes. Hi Pooja, missed you last week. My daughter's getting married and moving to the US. Jasmine Nanavati is asking, this feeling has only made me more negative. How to take care of myself? Jasmine, one of the things I think when our children start to blossom and go away, we have to start to have a different conversation with ourselves regarding them having a great, better, amazing life. So that's where I want you to focus on, rather than the focus being on what's going to happen to me and how am I going to cope. While of course you're going to miss her, this is your opportunity to develop your life as much. So I want you to start to look at what is going to be now the next pivot thing in your life. So as she builds her life, if you start to build yours and she sees you happy, so much happier she'll be able to get because you are happy. And remember, for all of us children, when we are leaving our parents, once again, I'm just going to quickly run and get my hot water. My voice is going, I've been talking the last 1.5 hours. 1 second. खुल जा. Got it. Sorry. I've just landed from an aeroplane, so I think the voice is a little harsh right now. So I want you to focus on your life and really building your life. Yeah. And so that you can now start to focus on something else, because if your focus only remains your daughter, she will start to feel very guilty about the fact that, you know, she's not there for you. So very important that as we must become selfless enough to let them go. My voice is gone. How can we change the filter while we are live? There's a small icon with the happy face and 2 stars. So you can just change it through that. You're awesome at handling all kinds of comments. Savita, what to do? All kinds of comments will come when your tribe grows. So what to do? I just like to ignore most of the time the rubbish that shows up. But sometimes it gets so bad that I have to address it. So I just like to send blessings to those people who are trying to get attention in the wrong way. When I asked how was the session was amazing, money manifestation was amazing, I've attracted money in my life, that is lovely to hear. Looking forward to this weekend of Awakening. For those of you who haven't enrolled into Awakening, I would love to have you there. Lovely. I'm so glad you all enjoyed the... I missed you. Stunning. Hi, Puja ma'am. Miss you so much. Shreya Agarwal coach, please clarify more on how one can be more aligned more with their purpose. You know, one of the things I'd love for you to start to do is either know your passion or bring passion to everything that you do. Both ways alignment happens, my sweetheart. So what you can do is start to make a list of all the things that give you joy and are important to you, and then start to do them on a daily basis. Start to make a list of all that you need to do. So for example, at one point I remember writing, I love reading. Then I started writing, I love reading non-fiction books. Then I started writing, I love reading self-development books. Then I started writing, I would love to start my own self-development club. And from there, all of this grew, and look at what size it's become today. So all of that happens as you start to, you know, our life as far as purpose is concerned is like an onion. You peel one layer, another layer shows up. You peel another layer, another layer shows up. And as you keep peeling, a day comes when we get so aligned with our purpose, because every single day we've lived in our passion. So I'd love for you to start to work with that. Coach Abida, hi dear Puja, missed you. How to deal with a client who's inclined towards perfectionism in everything? Abida, what I'd love for you to start to do is make them or show them how they can launch at a 70%. Because the more someone is involved with perfectionism, the more the chances are they will delay their own success, and they will get attached to their creation, whatever their creation is, whether it is the house that they run or... So what happens is these people are not only miserable inside, they make everyone around them also miserable. So helping her understand this may be a slower process, but it's a very important process. So start her on this journey of showing her that if you launch at 70%, whatever it is that you plan to do, and then you tweak it along the way, that's a much better way of doing anything, because you actually get genuine feedback. Perfectionism, there are some great videos by Breen Brown. Maybe you can show those to her. Perfectionism, as she says, is basically the cover of shame. What does that mean? So people who feel extreme shame hide themselves by setting their standards so high that when anybody starts to troll them or comment on them or anything, they don't want to accept that, because for them, they are hiding behind perfectionism, and behind that is shame. Someone who's very scared of experiencing shame has perfectionism as their standard. So if you can teach them how to make mistakes, if you can teach them to take themselves less seriously, if you can teach them to learn to say, I don't know. I remember my teacher, Jack Canfield, used to send us into McDonald's and make us ask in McDonald's, where is McDonald's? And for one whole day, we had to say, I don't know. What is your name? I don't know. Where do you live? I don't know. We had to keep saying, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. As coaches, what he was doing was he was training us to not start to take ourselves too seriously. So another thing you can do is these mini activities of, telling her to dress up like a jhalli one day, not doing her hair, not doing her makeup, wearing mismatched clothes. It can start with her physicality and move to her using wrong English, moving. So what you're doing is you are showing her that, in making mistakes, there is a vulnerability, there's an authenticity that's very beautiful. So if she can just start to practice it over time, she will stop being so attached to her perfectionism. So you'll have to start small with sweet exercises that she can do, which may seem very hard to her in the beginning. Like I remember my teacher, Sean, he made me go 1 week without makeup. He said, where did you get your confidence from? I said, I love doing makeup. He said, 1 week without makeup, 1 week without doing your hair. Then I said, when I came back and I said, I look sick without kajal, because in India everyone wears kajal. He said, now you have to go 1 week without kajal. And if one person also says you're sick, you'll have to do it 1 more week. So he made me do all of these things to remove the perfectionist in me, because I can tell you, I'm a recovering perfectionist. For me, everything had to be a certain way or it's not going out in the world. Today, I don't even care. I started writing my blogs, and I remember my sister-in-law used to message me, Puja, your English, those commas you're not putting, you are is your, there is there, what are you doing? And I said, Aditi, my darling, I love you, but you know what? My blogs are not for people who are great in English. My blogs are for people who are struggling and suffering, who don't care about the commas, who don't care about the spellings. They care about what I'm saying. So my target audience is extremely different. So once you understand that, look at what you're serving rather than trying to get it perfect. So see if you can help her with all of that, what I'm speaking. Watch a few Breen Brown videos on perfectionism. That you'll understand the whole concept of the connection of how when someone doesn't want to experience shame of any kind, they're so scared of making a mistake, so scared of being trolled, so scared of being put on a lower level, that what they do is they build the standard as if it's, but tell me something, perfectionism does really exist. There's nothing you can do that someone else cannot come and improve. So no matter at which level you do, someone else can come and improve it any which way. So why not then take it easy on yourself? Like for me, everything I do at a 70%, and I say from there I'll take it to 100. I won't start at 100, because to start at 100, you are starting too late. How was your safari tour? Phenomenal. I saw lions, lionesses, cheetahs. Sorry, not cheetahs, leopards. My son said, stop calling it cheetahs, mom. Leopards, elephants, giraffes, zebras, rhinoceros, hippopotamus. It was just simply phenomenal to see all of these creatures in their natural habitat. Was just mind-blowing, because they're so comfortable with the jeeps. I'm amazed at how the African safari people have built this deep trust between the animal and the human. So I feel like that's just something that is stunning. And what trust does, how much intelligence there is in trust, that they know that they don't even need to get up and change their environment, even if the truck is coming this close to the animal. And that was my biggest lesson from safari, was that it's taken them so this particular game reserve that we went for, it has been there for 40 years. And these cubs who are there right now have seen their mothers being comfortable with humans. They've seen their mothers being comfortable with humans. So over the years, the connection between man and animal in these jungles has become phenomenal. And I believe that if we could build a world of trust, when I go through airports or I go through hotels these days, and the way we get checked every day, everybody, it's only showing to me that we are actually falling down in life when we keep on creating mistrust. So one thing goes wrong, there's more mistrust in the world. Now no one can trust anybody. And so all of that makes life so much more inconvenient. I remember there used to be a time in America, you could just go to the airport and get onto the flight, and it was literally a 20 minutes walk. And today, the kind of processes and procedures across the world. See what happens when trust gets removed, how inconvenient our life becomes. The opposite was true in the jungles of Africa. There is so much trust between the animals and the human beings. It was just so beautiful to see. So I'd love for each one of us to examine in our life, how can we be more trustworthy? Hai na? All right, let's go to some questions right at the bottom. Tasneem Boxwala 53 saying, hello ma'am, is there any way to determine whether a new romantic relationship is worth emotions and efforts, worth putting in emotions and efforts into it? Tasneem, my suggestion would just be that, look for the yellow flags as you go along. So in the beginning, trust has to be earned. The same is in every relationship. So you go in because of the chemistry, because of the sizzle, because of all that you feel for the other person. But then you start checking, is he of your standard? And you have to know your standards for that. So let's say he invites you to a restaurant but doesn't show up for some odd reason. Mark it as a yellow flag. Maybe he gives you a very genuine reason, and it could be genuine. If it's genuine, we'll let it pass. If he does it again, then we know that this guy is not the right guy. All of the small things that we need to be aware of. He said he'll call, but he didn't call. Or he's making promises, but he's not being able to keep them. Or he's over promising, or he's getting too close too fast. Or, you just don't feel safe with him, or you don't like the friend circle he belongs to. Every single thing is information in the beginning for you on the person. So I feel like, right in the beginning, for the first 2-3 months, we should slow it down, even though at that point, it's going at its fastest. So slowing it down is always the hardest part of a new relationship. And we should look for, are there more green flags or are there more yellow flags? And in case something happens and it's a red flag, that's the time you need to get out. If there are too many yellow flags, another indication. Most people, when they have a breakup and they look back and they say, I already knew this. I had a hunch. I kind of knew he was seeing another woman along with me, or I kind of knew. And I'm giving an example of a woman here because a woman is asking me this question, but it can be both ways. So I feel like another thing that I always tell my children to check is the person inspiring you or expiring you? When some people come into your life to take away your entire life to make it theirs, you're not focusing on me, you didn't wish me good morning, you didn't wish me good night, you're not spending time with me, you didn't take me for holiday, you did not take me for lunch, you did not... Or is someone coming in to say, let's sit and do goals together. Let's sit and create our life together. Where do you see yourself 2 years from now? Where do I see myself? What courses would you like to join? What course? And these people just come in and just, they have a clarity on where they are going, and they make your life so much more clearer on where they think you should go. And you support one another in growing and building one another rather than sucking the energy off one another. That is a beautiful relationship. So these are the two checkometers. One is to keep out for the yellow flags. Another is to check, do they inspire you or do they expire you? All right, Velle Chennai 79. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Velle Chennai. I saw all of your safari pictures. It's wonderful that you've given credit to your son for all the pictures that he's taken. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. I wouldn't want to do it any other way. It's all of his hard work, the size of the camera he was carrying, and the amount of effort that went in to get that one good picture. First 2 days, I clicked pictures from my iPhone. By day 3, I gave up and I was like, I'm going to sit, enjoy, relax, be in the moment, be present. You click the photos and send them to me. And for those of you who'd love to follow his photography, his name is Hriday Gupta. So at the rate Hriday Gupta, you can follow him. He's a photographer in London. He's also working. So this is his part-time, but something that he's very passionate about. Can you guide us on how to become a life coach? Absolutely. I'd love for you to come in for, I'm having a 2 days session on 1st and 2nd of April. If you'd like to join that, there's a number below this video which will be there by the name of Gunjan. I'd just love for you to call up Gunjan and ask her, she'll guide you. Okay? Missed your energy. Great to see you back here. Great. Thank you so much. Absolutely. So happy to be back here. Though I'm struggling a little bit with my voice today, but I think it'll be fine. It's just that I've taken a 12-hour flight. Or was it a 9-hour flight? Okay. Between 9 to 12 hours flight from Johannesburg back to Dubai. So I've just traveled the whole night and just came in a couple of hours ago. Ooh, a lot of romantic questions are coming in today. How to find my soulmate. Become the person you want to attract. Yeah? Savita Kedia, my son asks for food and when I get it, he takes a lot of time to come. I feel uneasy calling him a few times and I don't want to feel helpless, but simultaneously it irritates me how to change my story. So Savita, I think one of the most important things you're going to have to do is start to make him responsible for his life. What about him coming late makes it uneasy for you? Maybe he's comfortable having cold food and you want him to have hot food. Maybe whatever is the reason, I want you to sit down and have this discussion with him where you can speak to him and say, look, this is what, instead of at that point shouting, I want you to, when it's not food time, I want you to sit him down and say, when I make the food, it's important for me that you come within 10 minutes of me calling you, but you take your own sweet time and that annoys me, beta. Let's see how we can work on this. Can you make sure that when you ask me for food, in the next 10 minutes, you free yourself and you come? Or should I bring it to this place? Or would you like me to cover it and leave it for you to eat it when you want? And create all of those ors if you have, or create consequences in case you want, if he's under the age of 10, 12, I don't know how old he is, so I'm not able to tell, but like for me, this time, one of the gratitudes my son did was, he said, I'm so grateful that both Papa and you didn't keep telling me what to wear and what to, the days it was getting cold, I'll normally tell my son, here, put chapstick here, wear your, thermal, or put on your jacket or something. This time we let him be because he said he's grown up, he's 19 years old, he lives alone, let him do it his way. So that's one way that you can let him do it his way if he's grown up enough where, he will eat when he feels hungry. Even if he's asked you, keep it there and just tell him that, you know what, I'm going to come and clear it in 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever your time is. Make sure it's over by then. You can do it in that manner, or if he's younger than that, then I set consequences. Say, you know what, the amount of delay you create in the food, that's the amount of time lesser you'll get of TV time in the evening. So if he's like 3, 4, 5, 6, then let him understand this, that you know what, the longer he takes, that's the less. So let's say his TV time in the evening is 30 minutes every day. He gets only 12 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever. So rewards and consequences is the language of how you speak to children when you want them to do actions. Just the way we train animals, the same way we have to train our children. And this is not a derogatory comment, because I can tell you animals are one of the most intelligent species in the world, and so is our little children. Sometimes by nagging them or being after them or constantly, being angry with them, we actually spoil our own relationships. I would rather you have a system where it goes, you know what, the minute you come onto the table, if you finish your food, you will get this. That becomes a reward. Or you will not get this, or you will get this after 10 days. Because if you don't believe in the bribing style of parenting, at least believe in the delayed gratification style. So delayed gratification, let's say, like for me, both my boys live together in London, and amongst themselves, they have so many different games and rules that they keep playing. The last person to finish will be the first person next day to go down to bring the food. The first person who washes the dishes or doesn't leave the coffee cup will have this. They have so many of these games going on. It is just mind-blowing to see, because they've made all of those struggles so much fun amongst themselves. So I'd love for you to explore your conversation around what is it you want him to do, What is the consequence if he doesn't do it? What is the reward if he does do it? What is the conversation you need to have for you to tell him that this is the context of the reward and the consequence, and see how magically things will start to happen. I remember when my children were younger, one of the things I used to tell them that for every junk packet food, like let's say you want to eat a packet of chips, you have to eat one fruit. And that became the rule. Like they knew कि जाके एक apple खा लो, फिर मम्मी chips दे देगी, या जाके कुछ भी healthy खा लो, and then मम्मी Maggi दे देगी. So in my house it was not you can't touch junk food. It was you have to keep on learning to make choices and consequences. So see if you can do that. There were days I remember I used to tell my children 10 o'clock if your video game is not over for the next 24 hours you have to give in your remote control. And for 24 hours then they won't get their remote control. And the one thing I'll ask you to do is become extra firm around your supervising of choices and consequences once you create them. Some of us mothers will say no TV if you don't finish your lunch, and then at 6 o'clock we'll say acha theek hai jaake dekh lo. That's the worst thing to do. Either don't say it or keep your commitment, because you know what? Children are always testing our boundaries, and when we don't stick to our boundaries, they stop respecting us for who we are, and then later on we feel like, why don't they listen? That's because you didn't teach them that you were worthy of listening. So see if you can amalgamate all that I have spoken and create something for your gorgeous son. Venkata, ma'am, have you ever read the Bhagavad Gita? I have attempted it a couple of times. I've gone for a few sessions also. I love the Vedanta way they speak. And of course, I'm very close to my friend Siddharth, who is a huge ISKCON fan. My own parents are ISKCON. So I have a lot of connection to the Bhagavad Gita, but I won't be able to proudly say that I've read it fully. Definitely not. My son currently is reading the Mahabharata. And we've been having a lot of discussions on that, but he hasn't yet reached the Gita portion. But definitely something that's on my bucket list, something that I would love to do. Okay, I'm going to go right to the bottom. Kinza Essentials. World is chaotic or normal nowadays? Your opinion? Kinza, I believe that chaotic is normal. It's not chaotic or normal. The world is constantly evolving, and evolving needs chaos. So things have to go wrong for the right to emerge, and the right to change will create more chaos. So all of that chaos is taking us towards our growth. So when the horses came, then the cars started to come, and the horses started to get removed. And when the cars came, the petrol started to get used. And because petrol started to get used, we started to talk about sustainability. And now we're having more sustainability conversations. And so it's always ever evolving. So I think chaos is our normal. And learning to see the good in the chaos is what makes us special. So see if you can start to find the good in the chaos. What's the good that's going to emerge from everything that has gone wrong? When we start to notice and see that, that's when our eyes become open to the magic of life. Yeah? Oh, so sweet. Missed you too, my sweetheart. Coach Sanya Arora, how to handle the anxiety of a new project on hand? Sanya, I think whenever you have to handle, firstly, I like the word you used, handle anxiety, because remember, anxiety, whenever something's important to you, anxiety will be there. So it's a confirmation to you that this matters. So that's a beautiful thing to own, firstly. And then secondly, just know that the journey is not that you will not make any mistakes. The journey is that you will make mistakes and fix them. That every mistake will lead you closer to becoming smarter, stronger, better in whatever this project is. So what if mistake to mistake is your success journey rather than success to success? So what if those small things is what needs the refinement? And so I do believe that you can make a list of this whole project on everything that you need to do and put easy, medium, hard. and start with all the easies so that it start to build the confidence that you need so that you can settle your anxiety, and slowly move to medium and hard as you go along and start to build your confidence slowly and steadily towards the hardest things on this project, so that by the time they show up, you are very well established in this journey or in this project. Okay, so see if you can handle your anxiety that manner. One of the things my son taught me was, Mom, I no longer try to get rid of it because I'd rather be anxious than overconfident. And I loved that sentence. So if that helps you in any way, Sanya, you can take that sentence, that it's better to be anxious than to be overconfident. And if that anxiety makes you want to do better, be better, and show up in every way because you're particular, because it matters, that's so beautiful, Mirijan. How to be a part of your tribe or club? Just come and join me. This weekend is very special. On the 18th and 19th of March, I am doing a very special 2 days called Awakening. If you haven't yet experienced Awakening with me, please call up Gunjan. The price is extremely affordable. It is phenomenal. It is 2 full days. One of the promises I make you is, at the end of the Saturday and Sunday, by Sunday evening, you will not remain the same. All of these questions that you're asking me in part of Instagram or Insta Live, you will be able to answer for yourselves. I will show you a step-by-step technical way of how to create a goddess. We are basically awakening your goddess. So how to create your goddess, how to heal your goddess and handle all your emotions so that you become emotionally stable, how to align your life with your goddess, and then last but not the least, how to embody this goddess so that every day you're living your routines and rituals and creating the life of your dreams. If this is something that interests or excites you, please DM me and I will ask Gunjan to call you right away. All you need to do is interested in awakening. Just put IIA, interested in awakening, and your phone number in the DM or under this, below this, and I will be happy to ask Gunjan to call you to set you up for this weekend. So it's happening this Saturday and Sunday, and I'll be so happy if you are able to be a part of it. Trust me when I say this, at the end of the 2 days, you're going to say, Pooja, the best thing of 2023 was Awakening. The loyal licks. How to convince parents for a different religion boy. You know what? I feel like time is one big convincer. That means if you just continue being with him and you give them time to, over the years, realize that your love is really true, that helps for sure. Another one is for them to interact with him at some point and see that he's actually a lovely boy. That can help. The thing is that, you know what, a lot of times I do also believe that convincing them is not the most important part. What do I mean when I say this? A lot of times we'll fall in love and we know in our heart this is the right guy, but we may not have parents who are willing to look beyond religion. Then at that point, what is it you want to do? You have to ask yourself. I'm not a propagator of any sort of actions taken without parents' consent. But having said that, I have seen enough relationships go right afterwards. That also exists. I've seen enough relationships go wrong also. But I'm a big believer that I would rather make the mistake myself than have someone else decide for me. It all depends on what is your courage level. Do you have the courage to, be with him even if you don't get their consent? As far as convincing them, I don't know. Depends on how blocked they are. A lot of times it has nothing to do with the boy and everything to do with their impression of that religion. So if their impression of that religion is not correct, what's going to happen is they're going to generalize and put your friend also into that box. And then it's whatever you say about your friend, they are not listening, because what they are feeling is that they are protecting you, and that to allow you to be a part of a religion that they do not have enough respect for is betraying their own child. So no matter how hard you try, you're going to hear sentences like, you don't know, you've not seen enough in life, we are trying to protect you here, I don't know what has he done, what jadoo is done on you. Get ready for all those kind of sentences. I think over the years, one of the realizations, and my brother-in-law and sister-in-law are from different religions, and they took almost close to 14 years to get married. I think they were dating for 14 years. They took forever to get married, and I can tell you their marriage is one of the most beautiful marriages I have seen. So to me, I'm a big believer that if the two people are right, religion has no place in love. So that's my belief, but it's my personal belief. I wouldn't put it on to anyone. So you'll have to just see that, are your parents open enough to get convinced? What I see these days is that religion has become such a wall between people that instead of bringing and becoming inclusive in the world, we are just separating. First it was the big religions. Now within religions, there is so many castes and so many different sects that we have started to divide. And then further, there's further division. And you know what? People in power are playing with all of this, and unfortunately we are all paying the price of it. So that is something that's going on in the whole world right now, that, you know, our inability to include everyone as we go along, unfortunately. So what to do? Aditi Verma, I'm assisting coaches as they asked me so. I also want to practice and learn, so I joined them, but now they are treating me like another student of them. What to do? Let them know. So one of the things very important, Aditi, is to inform people on how to treat you. And when we fail to do that, they continue to treat us the way they choose to. So all you need to do is maybe write them an email or sit them down or ask for an appointment and let them know that, you know what, I'm an assistant here, not a student, but I feel like I'm being treated like a student. Is there anything I can do better so that I can get the treatment that I deserve? So any such conversation is required. Yeah. So excited about the 2 days of awakening. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, Pallavi. Thank you. Beena, please suggest me how I can handle my 17-year-old son who is just not ready to study or do anything good. Beena, just love him a lot more. You know, the more older our children get, the more our expectations become higher and higher, and they start to fall off the bandwagon, and we start to put more and more pressure on them. I think deep acceptance of knowing not to come from a place of fear, but a place of love, that some children bloom late and some children bloom early. So not to compare, and to just listen to them, to love them, to be there for them. Because, you know, by now there's so much fear inside of us parents that if they don't do well in 12th standard, then they won't get into the right college. Their whole life will get screwed up, and all of the things that we say. You know, I am a parent who has operated from a place of whatever my children want to do is what I want them to do. And I can tell you, I carry no fear in terms of when my son says, what if I drop out of college? I said, drop out. Your mother anyway has never gone to college. So if that's your journey to take, so be it. May you be as successful as a non-college graduate or a college dropout. Mark Zuckerberg is a college dropout. Steve Jobs is a college dropout. Bill Gates is a college dropout. I'll give some 1,000 such examples. I'm not going to carry any fear in my heart, knowing that my God is always going to lead my children to the right path eventually. And whatever journey they need to take on the way, may God bless them, because nobody can have a problem-free life. You know, when you become so comfortable in your own energy, how you speak to the child, your attitude, your behavior, everything changes. I feel like today as parents, we have just become too fearful. I don't know if this is going to help you, Beena, my sweetheart. Maybe you wanted to hear something else, but my suggestion is just one: deep acceptance and truly unconditional love for some time for your son is one of the best gifts you can give to him at this age, where he's already feeling like he doesn't belong, he doesn't fit in, he doesn't have his own identity, he's not getting the respect he deserves. He's already feeling all of that. See if you can give him what he needs, so that then eventually he will give you what you need. First we have to give them, then they will give us. Pramod, Pooja, are you from England or USA? Hindi mein bolo na. Pramod, I'm neither from England nor from USA, but because our country got ruled by English for so long, they've left that as our main language, so therefore in English. But बहुत सारे teachers हैं जो हिंदी में बोलते हैं, आप जरूर जाके उनकी बातें सुनिए अगर आपको by chance English नहीं आती या फिर आपको difficulty हो रही है, ठीक है? Shreya, how to handle disrespect? Shreya, you know what? In my life, there are two ways I'm going to speak to you about. One is where you handle it internally. What is internally? People can only disrespect you if you allow them. What does that mean? Let's say you went to, there's a story where Gautam Buddha, somebody went to Gautam Buddha and he spat on Gautam Buddha's face. And everybody thought now Gautam Buddha is going to get really angry. Gautam Buddha just wiped his face and he continued to speak to the next person who had a question to ask. And people were like, why didn't you react? And he said, जब आपको कोई gift देता है, when somebody gives you a gift and you don't take it, who does it belong to? The person who gave it, right? So let that remain with them. It's not what the other person is saying. It is what we are saying to ourselves after they stop talking. That's the most important part. So if you are saying, oh my God, how did they come to know about this? Then it's another different conversation. If you are saying like, you know what? I know that's not me. I have nothing to prove to them. If they've decided to misunderstand me, I'm not going to give any justifications. I'm moving on. That's one way of handling disrespect. But let's say this person lives in your environment or is very close to you and you have no choice but to have to address it. Sit them down. One of the things I'll tell you about when people disrespect us is they don't expect us to speak about our hurt. They only expect us to show them our anger. So when somebody disrespects you and you show them the anger, that's the normal way to operate. But when somebody disrespects you and you say, you know what, you're hurting me, please don't use such language on me, they don't know how to handle that. So instead of staying in anger, see if you can move into hurt and operate from a place of hurt. You will start to see all the people who are disrespecting. You will stop saying what they are saying when you actually address them on their face when they disrespect you. Let's say I'm sitting in the company of a couple of people and somebody says something to me that is inappropriate or non-acceptable, I'll immediately say, oh, I don't see you being this kind of a person who'll ever be so mean, so rude, so I don't know why you're hurting me today, but this was really bad. I mean, this was really disappointing. Whatever I'm going to say, I'm not going to come from a place of anger. I'm going to come from a place of hurt. When you come from a place of hurt, people don't know how to respond and they back off. And then sit in the silence of not saying anything more. Let it be slightly awkward for a moment. Because in that awkwardness only is what's going to make them change. If they have to change. Okay? Now they'll say, hey, macha, itna seriously क्यों ले रही है यार? मैं तो joke कर रहा था. It wasn't funny for me. Oops. So you know what? Stay in that silence, stay in the awkwardness, make it awkward once or twice, you'll stop seeing the disrespect. So that's one. And another way is to internally handle it. And of course, it also depends on the kind of disrespects. You know, there are different kinds of disrespects. So these are just one or two that I'm answering for you right now. Yeah? Alright, it's 4:45. I am going to have to run because there is someone I am meeting. I want to quickly read out all the winners of this week not this week actually, some week. Winners of this week who have won the Unlocking the Golden Cage book from us is Graceful Motherhood. Massive congratulations, my sweetheart. Parenting with Neha and Kavita Ravi. To all three of you, a massive congratulations. Of course, 41 of you shared your takeaways and your picture and everything in the story. So thank you so much. We will be sharing that list down below. All of the usuals, my darling Insta fams were there. So happy to have you there. Again, for today, all I need to do is take a picture, put your biggest takeaway for the day and share it in the Instagram. You know, I think because I've taken a flight today, my voice is just not helping me. So I'm going to close a little earlier today. I'm going to become fresh and come back next week all over again. I've just taken a 9.5 hour flight. So I feel like my nose has gotten blocked and I can feel the sinus in my face. So I'm going to recover fast and be back soon. Okay. In the meantime, let's quickly take a photo so that you can put your takeaways. Don't forget to tag me. Make sure my photo in your story with tagging me and putting one takeaway so that you can become a part of the competition. Date with Puja is going to be happening somewhere in April 2nd week or maximum 3rd week. Whenever it does happen, I'd love to see you there. For you to be a part of that, all you need to do is take a picture, tag me and put one takeaway. For now, let's pose for the picture. हो गया, मिल गई. I'm not carrying the abundance cards or the book of the week, so I'm going to skip that today. Actually, book of the week, I bought a book yesterday. It's a Mark Manson book, which is the journal. I'll do that. I'll just share it in the stories any which ways. Why let you miss that? Yeah. Take care, everyone. Don't forget to share in your stories what your biggest learning for today was. In case I haven't been able to answer your questions, my apologies. You know the list has been going on and on and on. I will come back stronger and smarter next week. Wait for me. And for all of you who came today, 1,000 kisses, loads of love. Bye.